son of Trevor. Full display again.
Well, really cool to
in this year's recruiting class, along
guys that play at the pro level over there. They're coming to now play college basketball. So some names to keep your eyes on here in this game for Team World.
They control the opening tip. Alozie will set it in motion. On the drive and finish. That is the all-time leading scorer in California high school basketball history. Tunde Yesufu with the first bucket. And then a foul, Dibonsa.
Action getting going to the rim. Dibonsa is a freight train. I mean, right here.
He's listed at 6'9", 250 pounds, and it looks like he's got room
no
to get
question.
stronger.
He can still fill out. That frame has plenty that he can add to it.
Nearly a steal from Michael Brown Jr., the Louisville commit. Reload. Yesufu is such an interesting prospect at 6'6", 210. Outside jumper a little bit short from Markovic.
See, these Team World bigs can certainly spread it and spray it right there. Markovic pick and pop. You have to be aware with his shooting ability.
Bonsa leave it. Here's Boozer's first touch. So versatile himself. That jumper falls short. He follows his miss. Leave it. Bonsa with a slam.
Just think for Cam Boozer, the winning plays that he and his brother make, and they've won so much in their high school careers. It's not an understatement, and it's not a diss either to say that with Cam Boozer, his floor has to be as high as anybody in this class because he's so solid.
Brings it at 6'9", 225. We talk about all the time, winning is a learned skill.
No question.
And those two, to your point, have done it more than just about anybody at the high school level, as that one's a little strong from Alozie.
I think a lot of the times, Noah, when you say, well, they have a high floor, it's taken as a diss. And I think Cameron Boozer has a lot of potential.
And a bump as Ament was trying to take it towards the paint, and Markovic just got in his way. Cameron Boozer, so the resume is astounding. Son of Carlos, who's here, two-time All-Star in the NBA, national champ at Duke, two-time Gatorade National Player of the Year, was sandwiched with Cooper Flagg last year, fourth player to win it twice, 4 straight Florida State championships, and then the Chipotle Nationals this year, where his brother hit a huge shot in the semifinals to send them there.
You could stack his resume with pretty much anybody over the course of the last 20 or 25 years, and I don't know if you could find a better one.
No, I think that it's an easy argument that he is the best high school basketball resume of all time. The open look falls just a little bit awry. That's going to be somebody to watch. Tyson Acuff Jr. going to Arkansas. He is explosive with the ball in his hand. Sarr showing off the length.
How about just the ability to grind that out right there? I mean, Dame Sarr grinding that drive, physical take, a guy that can add some strength to his frame as well.
Boozer in and out, and a rebound arrived going to UConn next year by way of Germany originally, 4th-ranked center in the class. And Danny Hurley is excited for what his offensive potential could look like with the Huskies. Back the other way, Yesufu, so strong himself. Fendoff just doesn't get the roll. Offensive rebound, poked away. Alozie. It's just been a little bit errant from 3. And a lot of contact, knocked out of bounds, and it's going back to the world.
Dame Sarr, you think of him in his role at FC Barcelona, a lot of catch and shoot 3.
Too strong. Sarr mentioned that he tries to take a lot out of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's game, and that bucket as blocked by Ribe.
Ribe taking on Dibonsa there. That's just getting knocked back, but still getting a piece. He's a guy that his offense is ahead of his defense, but Dibonsa's just trying to get to your body, knock you back, and that's a really in the game. Arizona State commit. Gotta block him out. He's gonna go to the glass, 5th in the EYBL in rebounding this last summer. Yesufu,
just see that quick first step, and Dibonsa has no other choice but to reach in and foul him. I mean, this is not just explosion on the ground, but it's explosion getting up as well.
This would take away the scoring. I love his effort. The points speak for themselves and what he's able to accomplish in the state of California. But Tunde Yesufu, Scott Drew is getting a good one there.
Yeah, Baylor is going to love what he can bring. Of course, losing VJ Edgecombe to the NBA draft, and it just feels like he can fill a lot of what VJ did on the floor on both ends. Deep 3, in and out off of the hands of Michael Brown Jr. Hit it up ahead, knock away. Dibonsa got a hand on it. Acuff didn't see him. Now on the reload, Dibonsa, pump, drive, look out. He takes off, gets it back, and finally the foul is called.
Dibonsa just makes you make a business decision. You've got to really think about it. You go
see what Dibonsa has done. Going to BYU, the composite rank in terms of what everybody, he had been the #1 on 24/7 for basically the entire way up until the final week. And then he was overtaken by Darren Peterson going to Kansas, one of the co-MVPs of the McDonald's All-American game himself with 18 points in that one. But Dibonsa had 17 in just 24.5 minutes in the McDonald's game.
That was efficient. I mean, 7 of 12 from the field. But we've heard about A.J. Dibonsa for quite some time. And when you think about the pressure that builds for the type of player that he is and just the magnifying glass that you now live under, he's really handled it well.
SFO ends up staying in the game. Get it up ahead. Kyan Anthony is checked in, and right on cue, Anthony finds his way to the free throw line.
That's what he does. Just like his dad, he's out there to get buckets. And Kyan Anthony, tough shot maker, ball's in his hands. You can bet it's going up, just like it was for his dad, and for good reason, because he can put the ball in the hole.
Are you having PTSD about having to guard Carmelo?
No,
is that what's happening right now?
There's a couple times. I'm sure that it's not lodged in his brain, but it is lodged in mine.
So Anthony, the top recruit out of New York. Carmelo officially going to be a Hall of Famer. Was announced just a couple weeks ago during the Final Four as Kyan splits a pair.
How about that class?
Incredible.
I mean,
class.
You're looking at the people that are up there at the Final Four, and it's a who's who of basketball.
We were talking about the women's side of things, but they have guys like Carmelo Anthony and Dwight Howard going together along with the Redeem team. It's just a sensational class overall. As Harrelson checks in for the first time for the U.S. Spin, buzzer, score.
There's just not many fives at this level or the next level for college that are going to be able to deal with that. Boozer has such a great handle. He puts it on the floor with his left, but he's coming back to spin to the right. And
now his brother Caden's on the floor trying to apply some ball pressure. This is what Meyer does. Comes up short on the three.
Meyer, a guy that's played EuroLeague, has had some success with Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Brown had knocked away Meyer, got a hand in the cookie jar. Stay with the U.S.
This is just one school, and it's going to translate to the next level. I can promise you that.
Carlos, just such a fantastic basketball life that he had, and it just feels like his two sons are ready to further that family name as Brown comes up too strong. Anthony right there for the board.
Michael Brown coming into Louisville, by all accounts, has had a phenomenal week out here in Portland. Some shots early, but he's been balling out here.
How about the defensive intensity from Dibonsa early?
Well, think about the defender that he could be.
Yes,
I mean,
100%.
Every physical tool, and I think if you want to get nitpicky with his game, it's do you compete on every defensive possession? And for guys that are his caliber, that sometimes is the last thing to come, but he has every tool to be an elite defensive player.
Yesafu, too strong in the corner. Offensive rebound and a second chance for the world. That's a force up and comes up short from Pitt. Clear for the U.S.
You don't block out Pitt. He's going to make his way to the offensive glass. Blue-collar player, that's what he wants to do.
Helps when you have Chris Sinak Jr. on the floor, the top-ranked center in the class going to Houston. And he fits that Houston culture as he's ready for his freshman season. They'll get him a touch in the post, and he's fouled by Pitt. Under 5 to play in this first quarter. The U.S. with
a world that get to come out here and test their skills and test their games. You do it in a city like Portland that loves the game of basketball. The Blazers so well supported here. It's just a great event, and it's first class all the way. But it's an honor to get to play in a game like this.
Sinak makes it a 5-point U.S. lead. The world has made a couple of changes. Anthony stays in there. Some consistent pressure coming as Trey McKinney makes his first appearance for the U.S., as does Nicholas Hamenya, the Duke commit, 6'8", 215 from the North Hollywood area.
By all accounts, he has had a phenomenal week here in Portland. Playmaking, making shots, making things happen.
Anthony misfires there. Jalen Harrelson will bring it across for the United States. So Harrelson, Caden Boozer, Hamenya, Sinak, and McKinney are the 5 on the floor for head coach Frank Bennett. Hamenya, the rip through, and 2. Tough one through Anthony.
Let's clear him out on that left elbow, and it's go to work. Go right at Kyan Anthony, and I love just kind of that change of tempo. You slow play it early, and you burn it to the rim.
Meyer, series of screens, including from Mirkovic.
Pass.
Get it inside, and Mirkovic does the rest.
about Omer Meyer, though? Just playing pick and roll and hitting that pocket right there.
Boozer, Sanak. He's going to get 2 free throws. Boozer just sets the table so well, but Hamenya with the strength.
Well, they go with the clear out here, the ultimate in size.
Besides that, can stretch it.
The skill that those guys have. I mean, both the Visic's, and now you add Mirkovic to the fold here. I'm still waiting on Yakachonis. I assume he's going to the NBA, but I don't believe it's been announced.
Hasn't been announced, but you have to feel pretty confident. Mirkovic, room service underneath.
USA is going to bring pressure. That's how you should break it, not just to get it across half court, but to score.
Harrelson, Meyer with some great defense, forced the miss. And then a foul going the other way against Sanak.
I like the way the Team World has gotten out here. They've been physical. They certainly have given an effort, even though Team USA is stacked with talent. They are competing out here with this group.
It was United States 98-75. How do you not give it to him?
It's legit cases on both sides. Both those guys having such phenomenal seasons. I played with Jokic his first year. Now, apparently he was only in camp, but to see where he was there as a rookie in the NBA and to see where he is now, it is mind-blowing the way that Denver has developed him.
Look, you could see some of the makings and the feels of the game,
he was talented,
but it's a different level at this point.
Oh my God.
And a lot of credit to him for changing.
He can pass.
Yeah, it was a bullet feed right back to Mirkovic again, but he couldn't finish it. And Sanak finally claims the board for the U.S. Still haven't seen Taj Ariza in this game. Jong stays out there with Mirkovic, Anthony, Pitt, and Meyer. That's a nice, tough take and finish from Hamenya.
That's what he's been doing. Think about the classes that John Shire is stacking at Duke with the talent. Now, last year it's Cooper Flagg, it's Kaman Malawach, who's an Olympian for South Sudan, and look at who he's got this year. The Boozer twins and Hamenya coming. Plenty of talent in Durham.
And Ariza is going to check in next dead ball for the World, down by 7. Anthony going to work against Boozer. NBA legacy against NBA legacy. Nice pass inside for the bucket from Mirkovic.
Team World finding Mirkovic, but Mirkovic is finding these open areas, and these guards are diming him up.
Jasper Johnson, 2 strong. Oh, Sanak came in with reckless abandon, just couldn't corral it.
I really like Chris Sanak. He's a guy that has improved so much over the course of the last year. Going from a player that was ranked around 50 to now one of the elite prospects, and then you pick a school like Houston and Kelvin Sampson to coach you. The sky is the limit for him. He might not be the best player right now, Noah, but he could be one of the guys that when you look back in 20 years, you're like, this dude has made so much money playing pro basketball.
So Ariza in the game. You mentioned him being one of the highest ranked recruits in the class of 2026. Mirkovic is fouled. Hamenya got a little too close in the landing space, and that's going to be 3 free throws.
The Meyer to Mirkovic connection continues on here.
Gotcha. Possession, 3 versus 2.
No, we can't get away from the vaunted reviews.
Kasparas Yakachonis in the building.
Nice.
Representing this Illinois international recruiting legacy. We talked about what Tomislav Visic did for them this year, and now with Zvonimir coming over from Arkansas. Just going to be so exciting to watch them again. We'll wait on Yakachonis to confirm that he's going to the NBA before we completely write it off. But Mirkovic is going to add to what is already, and same with Will Riley, although that one feels like he's, after his first-round NCAA tournament performance, he has vaulted himself to guaranteed first-round pick. Either way, Mirkovic exciting, and we'll see if they can add even more. Mirkovic has scored the last 8 for Team World to get this back to a 1-possession game.
The interesting thing with NIL, though, is that there is something to at least think about with some of those, especially for a late first-round pick. I think Will Riley, if you're a first-round guy, you probably have to go, but at least there's a discussion that has to be had.
It's an interesting point and a correct one. The difference is the 4 years of guaranteed payday as John celebrates a tough bucket and hears it from his teammates.
And his coach right there. Jean more known for his ability to catch and shoot, but right there putting it on the floor.
So Kate Boozer stays in there, gets it off to his future teammate Hamenya. Jasper Johnson back to Hamenya. This is what he does. Can't stroke it there. Jong on the run, and he'll slow it down. Or will he? Jong spin, aggressive. And maybe a little bit too aggressive. No, a foul is called. I've never seen a celebration at this level for a foul pickup.
You said maybe a little teens. Plays in the Chinese Pro League, so certainly coming out here and playing with plenty of confidence. In that World Cup, he averaged 17 and 4. Only had 7 points against the United States, but he is certainly looking to be aggressive out here.
It's an 8-0 world run to take a 1-point lead in the final minute of this first quarter. Boozer working on John, gets inside and hangs it through.
That was a smart play there by Caden Boozer, seeing that Jong is guarding him, doesn't have the foot speed to contain him, so he went right at him and got to the rim.
Alozier, and the follow slam. Ribe gets upstairs.
That help comes over, and there's nobody home to crack down. Ribe is going to have every opportunity there for the tip-in, and that's exactly what happens.
Fast pace in this first quarter. Cameron Boozer had it knocked away by Jong. Up ahead, Jong trying to beat out this foot race and does! Jong, the star of the first quarter. DeBonsa right back at you.
DeBonsa not wasting any time, but what a play by Jong with the knockaway first, and then if you're going to go, you better go to dunk it.
Ariza, 3 seconds. Ariza, too strong. Rebound, and Johnson will just fire it away after the horn. What a couple of highlights to finish this first quarter, all even at 22.